Ever get the feeling, like life just enjoys throwing curveballs our way?
I know that feeling.
Yeah, I was actually talking with a friend the other day, and they were going through a really tough time. It really got me thinking, about how we deal with those times when everything just feels hard. And it made me realize something.
What's that?
It's all about gratitude, isn't it? It's like this secret weapon we forget we have.
Interesting.
So that's what we're diving deep into today. Finding gratitude, even when it feels almost impossible.
I like it.
We're checking out this piece all about practicing gratitude, even when things are less than ideal. I always thought journaling was for big life events, the kind of stuff you look back on years later. But this piece, it suggests jotting down, like, the small wins, especially when things are tough. Kind of resonated with me. What do you think?
You know, it's funny how the simplest things often hold the most power, right? It
Yeah.
sounds so basic, but the science behind it is really something. UCLA did these studies, and they found that practicing gratitude, even just for a couple of weeks, like 2 weeks, can actually change how our brains work.
No way.
Yeah, it's wild. The participants, their brains were literally rewiring themselves. They were happier, and their stress levels went down, just from focusing on gratitude.
So ditch the doom scrolling. Got it.
Exactly.
So instead of getting lost in all the negativity, we switch gears, right? And this article takes it up a notch with this idea of a gratitude inventory. What's that all about?
Okay, imagine a treasure chest, but instead of gold, it's filled with all those little moments of joy. That's basically what a gratitude inventory is. Writing those moments down is like we're holding on to them. We're creating a tangible reminder of all the good stuff.
Like a weapon we can use when things get rough again. I like it.
Exactly. It's
Yep.
powerful.
That actually makes a ton of sense. But what about those times when, I don't know, it feels less like a curveball and more like you struck out at life? The article talks about reframing challenges as opportunities. Isn't that just toxic positivity?
That's such a great question, and it really highlights the importance of nuance. Reframing isn't about pretending things aren't hard. It's more like you acknowledge the struggle, but then you ask, okay, but what can I learn from this? Is there any way this can actually help me grow?
It's like that time I completely froze during a presentation at work. Talk about embarrassing.
Oh, I feel that.
But instead of letting it completely destroy me, I reached out to a colleague for feedback. Turns out that conversation was like a gold mine of insights, helped me absolutely nail the next presentation.
Exactly. You took a stumble and turned it into a launch pad. And that example, it actually ties in perfectly with another thing this piece talks about, expressing gratitude to others. Your colleague's willingness to help, it helps you through that challenge. A simple thank you, acknowledging that support, even in small ways, can completely change things.
Absolutely. And speaking of the small things, the last tip is all about those small, mindful moments throughout the day.
Right.
It's not about big gestures, it's about savoring the little joys.
It really is about perspective, isn't it? Think about it. You're swamped, deadlines are looming, the stress is real, but then you pause, you see a beautiful sunset, or you take a minute to really enjoy a cup of tea. It's amazing how those small moments, those micro gratitudes can really shift your whole outlook.
So even when life throws its worst, we have a choice. We can choose gratitude. It's about actively looking for the positive, acknowledging the good, and recognizing the awesome people we have in our corner.
Absolutely. So as you go about your day-to-day, just remember, if you could pick one thing, one little action from this deep dive to put into practice today, what would it be?